I found it on a Tuesday morning, floating in the toilet like a dead fish. Tongue. Human. Pink and fleshy, with the roots still attached, long gnarled tendrils that looked like the roots of a rotten tooth. It bobbed gently in the water, and for a second I thought I was still dreaming. But the smell hit me. Metallic. Rancid. Like old meat left out in the sun. I stood there, frozen, my hand still on the flesh handle. My brain scrambled for an explanation. A prank? A sick joke from my roommate? But I lived alone. The door had been locked all night. The window was shut, and then it moved. Not drifting. Moving. The tongue twisted in the water, orienting itself, and I swear it looked at me. Not with eyes, but with intent. The tip curled upward, breaking the surface, and a voice gurgled out. Wet. Choking. Desperate. Give me back. I stumbled backward, my shoulder slamming into the door frame. My heart was hammering so hard I thought my ribs would crack. The tongue floated there, waiting, and the voice came again, clearer this time. Give me back. Every instinct screamed at me to run. To get out of the house, call someone, burn the place down if I had to. But I didn't. I couldn't. Because as I stared at that thing, a horrible, creeping realization washed over me. I recognized it. Not the tongue itself, but the voice. It was mine. My voice. Distorted, waterlogged, wrong, but unmistakably mine. I don't know why I did what I did next. Maybe it was shock. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe some deep, primal part of me understood that this thing and I were connected. I reached into the toilet. The water was ice cold. My fingers closed around the slick, fleshy mass, and the moment I touched it, it latched on. The root wrapped around my wrist like a snake, tightening with shocking strength. I tried to pull away, but it held firm, dragging itself up my arm with muscular contractions that made my skin crawl. No, get off. I yanked my arm back, slamming it against the sink, but the tongue didn't let go. It climbed higher, past my elbow, over my shoulder, leaving a trail of slime and something darker, thick, red, almost like blood but wrong. Too old, too stale. It reached my neck. I felt its wet surface press against my throat, and panic exploded in my chest. I clawed at it, my nails digging into the flesh, but it didn't react. It just kept moving, crawling, hunting, and then it lunged for my mouth. I clamped my jaw shut, shaking my head violently, but it didn't matter. The tongue forced its way between my lips, pushing past my teeth with inhuman strength. I gagged. I choked. My own tongue recoiled in terror, trying to retreat, but there was nowhere to go. The invader shoved deeper, past my teeth, past my palate, rooting itself in the back of my throat. I felt it anchor, tiny hair-like tendrils burrowing into the soft tissue, digging into muscle and bone. The pain was indescribable, white-hot, blinding. I collapsed onto the bathroom floor, convulsing, my hands clawing at my face, my throat, trying to rip it out. But it was already part of me. When the spasms finally stopped, I lay there, gasping, tasting iron and rot. Slowly, I dragged myself to the mirror and opened my mouth. My tongue was still there, but it was wrong. It was longer, thicker. The surface glistened with an oily sheen, and the texture was off, covered in strange, irregular bumps that pulsed faintly, as if breathing. I tried to move it, and it obeyed, but the movement felt foreign, like controlling a limb that didn't belong to me. I tried to speak. W. What are you? My voice came out slurred, garbled, like I was talking through a mouthful of mud. And then from somewhere deep inside my skull, I heard it. I was always here. You just forgot. That was 4 days ago. Since then it's been growing. First it was subtle, just a little longer than normal. I could hide it, keep my mouth closed, avoid talking. But by the second day it was too big. The tip hung out, resting against my chin. I tried cutting it. I stood in front of the mirror with a knife, blade pressed against the flesh. But the moment I applied pressure, every muscle in my body locked up. I collapsed, seizing, foaming at the mouth. When I came to, the tongue had wrapped around my wrist, squeezing until I dropped the knife. Don't, it whispered. Not out loud. Inside my head. We're the same now. By the third day I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. The tongue fed itself. At night I'd wake up to find it stretched across the room. The tip pressed against the bathroom drain, drinking. Drinking what I didn't know. I didn't want to know. Now on the 4th day, it's as thick as my forearm. I have to coil it around my neck just to keep it from dragging on the floor. It's covered in pulsating veins that glow faintly in the dark, and I can feel it thinking, planning. This morning I looked in the mirror again. My face is hollow, sunken, but the tongue is thriving. It's not just a tongue anymore. Something else. Something alive. Something that's been waiting in the dark, in the pipes, in the filth, growing strong enough to return. And I'm not the first. Tells me things. Terrible things. It tells me about the others, the hands that crawled out of drains, the eyes that grew in mirrors, the teeth that smiled from sinks. All the pieces of people who didn't want to stay dead. Tells me I was chosen. I don't know how much longer I have. The tongue is taking over. My thoughts aren't my own anymore. I hear its voice more than mine now, whispering, coaxing, promising. Let go, it says. Stop fighting. We'll be whole again. I'm writing this as a warning. If you ever find something in your toilet, something that shouldn't be there, don't touch it. Don't try to understand it. Flush it. Burn it. Do whatever you have to. Because once it gets inside you, it never lets go. And soon you won't be you anymore. You'll just be the body it wears.